Welcome to yet another episode of Stephen classes. So here, today we are going to discuss reproductive health. What is reproductive health? By reproductive health we mean a health in all aspects of reproduction. That is physical, emotional, behavioral and social. So today we will discuss a set of questions from this second year chapter, Reproductive Health. Ready? So here we start. Here we have the first question. Which of the following is not an indicative of a reproductively healthy society? You know, in India, we started the process of building up a reproductively healthy society in the year 1971 itself. Because in 1971 we started family planning, and we have the program named as RCH program. What is RCH? The full form of RCH is given here, Reproductive and Child Health Care Program. RCH is called Reproductive and Child Health Care Program. There are two main objectives of RCH program. One is creating awareness among people about bringing up a reproductively healthy society, or creating awareness about reproduction related aspects. And another objective is to provide infrastructure for developing a reproductively healthy society. So here, coming back to this question, which of the following is not an indicative of a reproductively healthy society? So when you bring up a reproductively healthy society, there will be a decreased MMR and IMR. You know what is MMR? Maternal mortality rate. The death rate of mothers or maternal mortality rate will be decreased, and also infant mortality rate will be decreased in a reproductively healthy society. And also there will be increased number of couples with small families in that particular society. That is also a character. Then better detection and cure of STDs. That is also a characteristic feature of a reproductively healthy society. So here in this question, which is not an indicative of a reproductively healthy society. So our answer will be option D here, because increase in female feticides, that is not a good feature for a reproductively healthy society. Killing a female fetus, once it is identified as a female fetus, it will be destroyed by some people in parts of our country. So it is not a good habit actually, it is not a good custom. So here, when it is a reproductively healthy society, we are actually preventing such incidents. So here the correct answer will be, which is not an indicative of reproductively healthy society. Our answer will be option D here. Clear? Increase in number of female feticides, it is not an indicative of reproductively healthy society. Shall we move to our second question? Right. Here we have the next question. It is about amniocentesis. Amniocentesis is regarded as a misuse of biology if it is used to. You know what is amniocentesis? In this picture you can see amniocentesis is taking out the amniotic fluid, and along with that we will study the chromosomal pattern of that fetus. There will be some special cells or embryonic cells in that amniotic fluid, and we can analyze the chromosomal abnormality or aberrations found in those cells or in the DNA when you study. And also we will analyze the protein content of the amniotic fluid. So we will be able to identify whether there is a genetic defect in that fetus. So at very early stage we will be able to identify a genetic defect. That is why amniocentesis is known as a prenatal diagnostic tool, because before birth itself we are able to identify whether there is a genetic abnormality. So it is prenatal, before birth. Prenatal means before birth. Postnatal means after birth. So prenatal diagnostic tool That is the explanation given for amniocentesis. But here, what is the significance of amniocentesis with the RCH program? As part of RCH program, we have a statutory ban on amniocentesis. That means amniocentesis cannot be done for identifying sex of the fetus. Sex determination by amniocentesis is banned. Okay, amniocentesis as a technique is actually a useful technique, but some people are misusing that technique. So the misuse of amniocentesis is actually banned. So coming back to this question, which is a misuse of amniocentesis. Okay, is it option A? No, because to detect proteins in amniotic fluid is an aim of amniocentesis. Option B? No, because to detect chromosomal aberrations of the fetus, that is also one of the aims of amniocentesis. To find out the sex of the fetus, yes, sex determination, it is not a good use of amniocentesis, it is actually a misuse of amniocentesis. So our answer will be option C here. We will check option D, gaining information regarding health of fetus. Of course, we are actually looking for the health of the fetus by doing this particular technique. So our answer for this question is option C. Very clear. Shall we move to the next question? Yes, we have the next question in the screen. Reason for rapid growth of human population is not due to, our population is increasing. In the case of world population, it was only 1 billion at the time of 1900, but by 2000 it actually crossed 6 billion. And in the case of Indian population, at the time of independence we were only 350 million, but we crossed 1 billion by 2001 May. So here we can say there is population explosion. What is population explosion? A dramatic increase in the population over a relatively shorter period of time. That is called population explosion. So here, what are the reasons for population explosion? The reasons for population explosion are a rapid decline in the death rate, maternal and mortality rate also declines, but there is an increase in the number of people in reproducible age group. The number of people in reproducible age group will increase. So these are the reasons given in your textbook regarding population explosion. Coming back to a question, which is not a reason for rapid growth of human population. So here option A, B, C, it is as such given in the text earlier, but option D is different. Actually, it is increase in reproducible age group. Okay, increase in number of reproducible age group reason for population explosion. But here in the option D it is given decrease. So our answer will be option D. Population growth, rapid growth of population is not due to decrease in number of people in reproducible age. It is actually due to increase in the number of people of reproducible age. So the correct answer for this question, very clear, answer is option D. Right. Shall we move to our next question? Okay. Yes, we have the next question on the screen. It is about the methods of preventing pregnancy or contraception. There are different contraceptive methods you have to follow, and here natural methods, always natural methods, they avoid the chance of meeting sperm and ovum. So that is the principle behind the natural method, avoiding chance of meeting sperm and ovum. So here there are three types of natural methods: periodic abstinence, coitus interruptus, lactational amenorrhea. Periodic abstinence, in this diagram it is given. Periodic abstinence is the way in which couples avoid coitus between day 10 to day 17. Between day 10 to day 17 of the menstrual cycle, here couples avoid coitus, or couples they abstain from coitus. So that is periodic abstinence. Coitus interruptus, it is also called the withdrawal method, in which the male partner will take out the penis just before the ejaculation. So that is coitus interruptus. Coitus is interrupted. Then lactational amenorrhea is a technique in which we say that at the time of intense lactation, due to high prolactin, there is no ovulation. So that is another technique. So these are three techniques considered under natural method. Natural methods are very safe, they have no side effects, but the effectiveness is very low in the case of natural methods. So shall we move to the question? So here you should know that in this diagram it is written as fertile period for day 10 to day 17 at least. There will be fertile period. So during this fertile period, couples they avoid coitus or sexual intercourse. So before that there is probably infertile, and after the 17th day there will be infertile period. So those periods can be called safe periods. But this fertile period is called the risky period, in which you have to avoid the coitus. So fertile period is also called the risky period here with respect to the periodic abstinence. So when we move to the question, option first statement, in periodic abstinence couples avoid coitus between day 10 to 17. That is a correct statement. Second, day 10 to 17 of menstrual cycle is called safe period. Wrong. Why? Because it is a risky period. I told you the fertile period is also called a risky period. It is not safe period. So here, lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea has been reported to be effective up to a maximum period of 6 months following parturition. And fourth statement, natural methods work on the principle of avoiding chance of ovum and sperm meeting. So here, all except 2 will be correct here. Here, among the statements, the fourth statement is also true here. So all except 2. So correct answer is option D here. The hormone releasing Iuds. The hormone releasing Iuds have functions. You know, Iuds, they can be classified into 3 types. Non-medicated Iuds. Non-medicated Iuds, they have no medicine or chemical constituent in them. Example, lips loop. Copper releasing Iuds are there. They release copper. And hormone releasing Iuds, they release hormones. So here, remember there are 3 types of Iuds. Iuds, they are inserted with the help of an expert into the uterus. They are intrauterine devices. So here, from this question, the hormone releasing Iuds, their function, they are asking. Okay, what about the first statement? Make uterus unsuitable for implantation. That is true regarding hormone releasing IUD. That is a correct statement regarding IUD. It inhibits ovulation. See here, IUDs are not directly inhibiting ovulation. So coming back to the question, the hormone releasing IUDs have the functions. For first statement, make uterus unsuitable for implantation. That is true regarding hormone releasing IUDs. Remember, hormone releasing IUDs, they will do 2 things. They will make the uterus unsuitable for implantation and they will make the cervix hostile to sperms. Generally, in the case of IUDs, they will increase the phagocytosis of the sperms and they also suppress the sperm motility. That is general for all IUDs. But particularly for hormone releasing IUDs, the statement 1 and 3 are true here. Okay, what about other statements? It inhibits the ovulation, it interferes the proliferation of endometrium, it alters the quality of cervical mucus. These kind of statements applicable for oral pills. So the correct answer for this question will be option A here. Right? So shall we move to our next question? Yes, it is a match the following type of question. And here examples are given in one set So you have to identify the different examples for Iuds. So here we have the slide. Non-medicated Iuds example, Lippes loop. Then copper releasing IUD, copper T, copper 7, multi-lot 375, and hormone releasing IUD, example will be Progestasert and LNG 20. So here, coming back to this question, our correct match will be option D. I think no further explanation is required here. Just you have to find out the examples for each type of IUD. Very clear. So, non-medicated with Lippes loop, copper releasing with 3 options, multi-load 375, CUT, CU7 and LNG 20 and Progestasert for hormone releasing IUD. So our answer option D here. So we move on to our next question. Identify the wrong statement. So this is about the barriers. There are different barriers. What are barriers? They prevent the meeting of the sperm and ovum. So that is the principle behind a barrier. Barriers such as condoms are not reusable. They have to be disposed. But in the case of diaphragms, cervical caps, walls, they are not reusable. Sorry, they are reusable. They are reusable. They are reusable kind of barriers. So here in this diagram you can see diaphragm and also cervical cap, how they are used. So they are inserted into the cervix through the vaginal opening, and it will block the entry of the sperm cells into the uterus. So here barriers such as diaphragm, walls, cervical caps, they are reusable. Okay, so identify the wrong statement here. So statement 1 is true. What about statement 2? Diaphragms made of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the uterus before the coitus, during coitus. So here, to cover the cervix actually, not covering the uterus, it will cover the cervix portion itself. Okay, so second statement is wrong here. Third statement, diaphragm, cervical caps and walls are not reusable. They are actually reusable. So 3 is also wrong. Okay, so 2 and 3 are wrong statements. What about the fourth one? Spermicidal creams, jellies, foams, they are used along with barriers to increase the contraceptive efficiency. So that statement, the last statement is correct. So only 2 and 3 are wrong here. So our answer is option B. Option box B option. Okay, 2 and 3 are wrong. So you got it. Shall we move to our next question? Yes. So we have the question of sterilization method. So sterilization method, our question is like this. When you talk about the sterilization, there are 2 types of sterilization, vasectomy and tubectomy. Vasectomy performed in male individual. It is cutting of vas deferens and tying the ends. Whereas in tubectomy, it is cutting of the fallopian tube and tying the free ends. So in both cases, remember, we actually block the transport of the gametes. We are not blocking the gametogenesis. You got it? We are not actually blocking the spermatogenesis or oogenesis. We are not blocking the ovulation. We are not stopping the menstrual cycle in female. So all other reproductive activities can be performed without any interruption, even if you do this surgical process of sterilization. So among statements here, option A, sterilization method, it inhibits implantation and sperm's motility and fertilizing capacity suppressed. No, never. Sperm motility is not suppressed here. It is not inhibited from implantation. Now option B, inhibit ovulation in female and secretion of accessory sex glands and blocked in male. We are not inhibiting ovulation in female. Normal ovulation will happen in female and normal menstrual cycles will follow. And we are not in male blocking the secretion of accessory sex glands. Accessory sex glands will produce their secretion smoothly. So here statements A and B are wrong. So C option, it blocks the gamete transport and thereby prevent conception. So here, this is the correct statement regarding sterilization. This is the only correct statement regarding sterilization among the options. Option D, it inhibits ovulation and implantation. That is also wrong for sterilization. So our answer will be option C. It is the only statement applicable for sterilization method here. Now the question is about MTP. So we have the next question for you. Select the false statements regarding MTP. So what is MTP? MTP is otherwise called the medical termination of pregnancy. Yeah, medical termination of pregnancy or induced abortion. There are spontaneous abortions which happen without our intention, or involuntary they are happening. But induced abortions, they are said to be voluntary termination of the pregnancy before reaching the full term. What is a full term? 9 months of gestation usually we have. But before reaching the 9 months, if you terminate that pregnancy, that is called medical termination of pregnancy, voluntary termination of pregnancy before reaching the full term. So here we have a set of options. 5 to 10 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world. This is actually a false statement. In textbook it is written 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world. And that is 1/5 of the total pregnancies also. So here first statement is wrong. Second statement, it is legalized in India in 1971. True. Then third statement, MTPs are applicable to get rid of unwanted pregnancies due to rape or unprotected intercourse. That is true here. Then fourth one, MTPs are also essential in cases where continuation of pregnancy harmful for the mother or child or for both. So that is also true. Fifth one, MTPs are considered relatively safe during the third trimester. Wrong. It is fatal when you conduct this at the later stage, but in the initial first trimester only it is said to be safe for the mother. So here first statement and fifth statement, they are false. So the correct answer will be option C here. You got it? Correct answer is option C. Shall we move to our next question? Ready? Here we have the next question for you. Match the following. We have a set of STDs or sexually transmitted diseases on one side, and on the other side we have a set of organisms causing these STDs or sexually transmitted diseases. Sexually transmitted diseases, they are also called venereal diseases or reproductive tract infections. And we have a classification of STDs shown here. Bacterial, cankeroid, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, they are bacterial. Then there are viral diseases. Viral diseases are adenoviruses, viral hepatitis caused by hepatitis B virus, herpes simplex virus, then genital warts caused by human papilloma virus, Kaposi's sarcoma. All these are examples for viral STDs. And parasites. Some parasites like pubic lice, scabies, they are also causing STDs. And the only one protozoan is here, trichomoniasis, caused by Trichomonas vaginalis. So among STDs, we can say they are caused by different categories of microbes. Some are bacterial, viral, some are protozoan, and some are parasites belonging to arthropoda. So here, when you match this question, our correct answer will be option B here. Option box B. Because chlamydia you can match with chlamydia trachomatis. Then gonorrhea you can match with Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Trichomoniasis with Trichomonas vaginalis. Then D, genital herpes you can match with herpes simplex virus. Syphilis with Treponema pallidum. Okay, so E with R. Then F with Q, because cankeroid you can match with Haemophilus ducreae, and genital warts with P or human papilloma virus. So here you should have a clear idea about the different microbes causing STDs and the category of that particular microbe, whether it is bacteria or virus or a protozoan. So Trichomonas vaginalis seems to be the only protozoan in the list. So shall we move to our next question? So for this question, answer is option B. Next question. Infertility cases either due to inability of a male partner to inseminate the female or due to very low sperm count in the ejaculates could be corrected by. So this is a question regarding ART or assisted reproductive technologies. We have a set of assisted reproductive technologies in your textbook. IVF-ET or in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. In vivo fertilization and embryo transfer. Then ICSI or intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Then AI, artificial insemination. IUI or intrauterine insemination. So we have all these 7 types of ART or assisted reproductive technologies. These are techniques which will help infertile couples to have children. What is an infertile couple? A couple who is not able to produce children even after 2 years of sexual cohabitation can be called infertile. So coming to this question, the male partner is having inability to inseminate and or there is a low sperm count, then we depend on artificial insemination. Seminal fluid collected from the male partner will be brought to the female genital tract of the female. So here option A is our correct answer. Option B is ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. IUT is intrauterine transfer. Then IUDs are type of contraceptive methods that we have already discussed. So answer option A, very simple. So shall we move to our next question? Right. We have our next question. It is on the ZIFT and IUT. Always they are asking about the difference between ZIFT and IUT. ZIFT is zygote intrafallopian transfer. So both are embryo transfers. The difference is that in the case of ZIFT, so here in this picture you can see, in the case of ZIFT, the ova collected will be done a fertilization in the in vitro condition, and after that fertilization, after that if it is an early embryo, zygote and early embryos up to 8 blastome years will be transferred into the fallopian tube. You can see it clearly here. It is transferred into the fallopian tube. Then it is called ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Can you see that? In that picture you can see the embryos are transferred into the fallopian tube. But in the second picture you can see it is a late embryo. So when it is a late embryo, it is transferred into the uterus actually. It is transferred into the uterus. So that is called intrauterine transfer. So when there are more than 8 blastome years, embryos are transferred into the uterus, or it is intrauterine transfer. So for this question our answer will be, coming back to our question, our answer will be option A. Okay, option D is not our answer because if it is in the reverse way, okay, if it is morula and blastula, then it is doubtful. That will be also our answer. So, but here it is blastula first and then morula second. So our answer is option A. You got it? So now we move on to the next question. Dash is useful for women who cannot produce ova but can conceive. Dash is useful for women who can produce ova but cannot conceive. Remember, in the case of GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer, it is a technique in which it is useful for females who cannot produce ova but can conceive. But in the case of in vivo fertilization and embryo transfer, in that technique we say that it is useful for those females who can produce ova but cannot conceive. So here our answer will be option A. Very clear? So what is ICSI? intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So in that picture you can see the sperm cells are directly injected into the cytoplasm of the ovum with the help of a micro pipette. Now, next question we have. Select the true statement regarding implants. You know, it is different from oral pills. In the case of implants, in this picture you can see it will be kept under the skin, and the chemical constituent within that will be released slowly, and it will have a long effective period compared with the oral pill. So the mode of action is same, but effective periods are long lasting in the case of implants when you compare it with the oral pills. So mode of action is same, but effective periods are long lasting. So our correct answer for this question will be option D here, because in option fourth statement, when you go through all the statements 1, 2, 3, that is applicable for implants. But in the case of fourth statement, effective periods of implants are shorter than oral pills. So it is not shorter, it is longer. Effective periods are longer in the case of implants compared with the oral pills. So we have our next question. It is about the wrong statement regarding steroidal oral contraceptive pills. Remember, this question is about the steroidal oral contraceptive pills. Okay. The Saheli is said to be non-steroidal. Steroidal oral contraceptives, initially we were using, people they have to use it continuously for a period of 21 days, starting from the first 5 days of the menstrual cycle. So here, remember, this question is about the steroidal oral contraceptive pills, not about the Saheli, which is non-steroidal. So which is a wrong statement here? Option A is true, option B contains small doses of progestogen-estrogen combination. That is also true for oral pill. They alter the quality of the cervical mucus and prevent the sperms and inhibit ovulation. That is also true for oral pills. But option D is wrong here. So with this question, we conclude our today's session on reproductive health. We will be back with yet another chapter. Tomorrow we will discuss structural organization in animals. So be prepared with the questions and be prepared with the theory topic of structural organization in animals. So I will be back with a set of questions. So remember, your preparation is necessary for understanding all these concepts that we discuss. So be prepared. See you soon. Goodbye from Stephen Classes.